What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day. Hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend. Um, Getting into this episode of GH, Esme is intriguing me so far. I'm interested in Esme for the simple fact I want to know what she's all about. I want to know like what's her angle in all of this. Um, her popping up at Ava's gallery and stuff. Part of me felt like that whole scene was interesting because it felt like they were sizing each other up in a way. Um, like she just told Ava how she was there to look for some art pieces. You know, she was thinking about buying some art or whatever. Like her family, her parents kept trying to get her to invest in art or whatever. Yeah, I don't believe that. Her reason for being here is definitely not for art. Um, she talked about how her and her siblings were adopted because her parents, I guess, couldn't have children, so they got adopted. Um, and then she started talking about the love that Ava and Nicholas have for each other is not like the love that her parents have for each other. Is different. I don't know. Something is off with this girl. Since the very first day we seen her, something is very off-putting with her. Like she's not wrapped too tight. Um, it just feels like maybe Ava may know her biological parents, maybe like because the way she's coming at Ava is it seems very personal to me. And how she keeps calling Kiki Lauren. You know what I mean? Like nobody called her that, and Trina took notice of it. Like nobody calls her that. Um, like this feels very personal, and it's like, what is her gripe with Ava? You know? And now she's starting to notice that Spencer is having second thoughts about breaking Ava and Nicholas up, and she's trying to figure out like if he can be okay with Nicholas being with Ava or not. Um, I don't blame Spencer for having second thoughts because at the end of the day, he feels that he can't move forward with Nicholas and have this, father son relationship with that secret hanging over them. Is the fact that him and Esme have been, coming after Ava. And at some point, he's going to crack. Like, he just seems like he's ready to tell Nicholas the truth. But I don't think Esme wants that to happen. Esme, she got something going. I want to know what her plan is. And when Trina popped up on them or whatever, she noticed again that now Esme is calling Lauren, she's calling her by the name everybody else calls her, Kiki. Now all of a sudden you're calling her Kiki, but a minute ago you kept calling her Lauren. Like, what the hell is going on with this girl? Like, where is she from? The Children of the Damned or something? Like, what is going on with this chick? Like, is she connected to Ava and Kiki somehow? Like, maybe from back in the day? Like, I really want to know what the hell is going on. Like, did Ava have triplets and didn't know? Like, what the hell is going on here with this girl? Something in the buttermilk ain't clean with her, and I want to know what it is because this is getting creepy. You know what I mean? Like she has that. You ever seen that movie? I think it came out 2009 called The Orphan. That little creepy girl that they adopted or whatever, or was trying to adopt. She was just evil to the core. That's what she's reminding me of, like a little baby Rosemary's Baby or something. Like a little modern version. Like she's just nuts. Like she could be related to Chucky or something. Like she's just crazy. She gives off them creep vibes. And it's funny because Jocelyn, noticed that Trina didn't look okay. Like, and Trina admitted that she don't like Esme. And she seemed like she was feeling bad that she didn't like her at first. My thing is, don't feel bad. Go for your gut feeling. Whenever your instincts kick in, when you meet somebody and you feel uncomfortable around them, or you feel some type of bad vibe, go with that. Because your instincts don't steer you wrong. That's what we got them for. You know. Um, Jocelyn definitely did not blame Trina for not liking Esme because Jocelyn was like, I didn't like her from day one. Like she just felt like she's a straight up B, a capital B. Um, and she definitely seems like Spencer is definitely a pawn in her game. Like she treats Spencer like she owned him or he property or something. And I'm like, Spencer, you are a Cassadine. Snap out of it, please. Like, snap out of this. Stop being a pawn. Usually it's the Cassadines who control the chess game and they use everybody else's pawn. So he needs to reverse it. Because this girl got some type of mojo over him or something. Some type of, some she got some type of voodoo over this boy. Um, But yeah, Jocelyn was like, shoot, don't feel bad about it because Jocelyn did not like this girl from day one. She rubbed her the wrong way the first day she met her. Because remember, when Esme was talking to Jocelyn and Cam the first day that she, met them and stuff, she was bringing up her kidneys and, remember when she had cancer and stuff, like she brought that up. I was like, how do you know all of this about somebody that you just met? I mean, granted, Spencer probably could have said something, but then again, I'm like, this girl could have did her research for whatever reason. So that right there would have definitely creeped me out. Like, you know all this information about me, and I just met you 5 seconds ago, and I don't know diddly squat about you. You know what I mean? Like, that would creep me the hell out. Like, yeah, I need to stay away from this chick because she nuts. They need to do some research on her. I was pissed at Ava though for filing that restraining order against Nicholas. And Nicholas was pissed too because I'm tired of this back and forth between them. I want to see them finally get it together and, you know, resume their relationship. As much as Nicholas sometimes grate on my nerves by his shenanigans, I do like him and Ava together. And I would like for them to hurry up and work this thing out because the divorce is almost final, but she decided to file these damn restraining orders. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what prompted her to do that? I guess she's trying to keep Nicholas away from her or keep herself away from Nicholas, and that's what he was trying to figure out. Like, are you doing this because you want me to stay away from you or because it's hard for you to stay away from me? I said that's a good point. That's a good point. So anyway, moving on from that, Carly and Monica were very interesting today. That conversation between them was very, very interesting. I noticed though on Twitter and stuff like people were feeling like the writers were using Monica as another prop to prop up Jason and Carly. I said yeah, I could see how they can come to that conclusion because I thought about that too. I was like yeah, it's probably part of it, but also you got to remember Monica has dealt with Carly for a long time. She never liked Carly. Carly never liked her, but Monica in her older age, when people get older they start to mellow. They do. And Monica's at that stage in her life where she's at the age where it's like, I'm not about to argue with you. I'm just gonna like sit back and watch the fireworks. You know what I mean? We all know she don't like Carly, but at the end of the day, they're connected, whether they like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Through Jason, through Michael, through Wiley, they're connected. They're always gonna be connected. And I think Monica realizes that. And she's like, you know what? Why keep bashing you and trying to slap the dog piss out of you every time I see you when we could be civil? You know what I mean? Because we got too many people in common for us not to at least be cordial. I agree with that. I do. I do. I mean, I wouldn't blame Monica if she never liked Carly or she hated her for the rest of her life. I wouldn't blame her either, but I respect Monica for doing what she did. She was the bigger person. She came over there. She didn't have to come over there and extend an olive branch. And it's not like she's saying, hey, we're going to be besties. Let's do each other's hair and nails. And no. And she acknowledged that. She was like, we're never going to be best friends, but shit, we could be cordial. We could be civil. I agree. Because she doesn't want Jason and Michael to feel like every time they're around them, like you got a referee or you feel like you got to pick a side or kind of stay Switzerland and basically be neutral. You know what I mean? Like she don't want them to feel like they're in the middle when they could just be civil, say something decent about each other. You ain't got to be all, hey, Carly, how you doing? Hey, Monica, how you doing? Hey, girl. You ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. You can just be like, hey, Monica, hey, Carly, and keep it pushing. Go your way. And that's pretty much what Monica was saying. Like, let's keep it civil. And she really doesn't want to, bump heads with Jason over this. You know what I mean? Because they all know how Monica feel about them getting married, but Monica knows that Jason gonna do what Jason wants to do. He's grown. She can't talk him out of it. Even if she wanted to, she couldn't. So it's like, she's just going with it. Whatever happens, happens. But I did like that though. And it was so funny because before Monica left, she basically told Carly that for years Carly fought, for Jason's love or whatever. And after all these years of plotting to get it, she finally got it. And Carly was looking like, had this look on her face. And then all of a sudden, Carly missing. We don't even know where she at. Jocelyn was looking for her. Jason was looking for her. He came by to get the suit or whatever for the wedding. Speaking of the wedding, how in the blue hell was the wedding scheduled for September 17th and it's only September 7th? I say y'all got a little ways to go until September 17th. So y'all mean to tell me they're gonna drag this whole day out until September 17th? They y'all really gonna drag this out? Like that's what we doing? We gonna drag this mess out? Okay, it's gonna be a long day. Sound like a Tyler Perry show to me. I remember he did that in one of his shows. Dragged a whole night out. He dragged the whole season out in one night. That was, I think the show he did that. I think If Loving You Is Wrong. The whole season was based off of one night. The whole season, one night. I said that's insane. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. So anyway, another conversation that was interesting that caught my attention was Dante and Jason. I felt like it was some more propping. I did. I felt like it was a little bit of propping. Dante, of all people, being a cop, technically, I mean, him arresting Jason, I don't really see the point in that. I mean, Joey Novak was the one that came to the bar acting a fool, so what you locking them up for? Technically, Jason was, defending himself. I mean, yeah, Spinelli threw the first punch or whatever, but you locked everybody up. So, the ADA wasn't trying to let Jason go, basically, because once they got Jason in custody, the ADA figured, oh, let's, try to keep him in custody and, yeah, whatever, let him go. You ain't got no charges. But yeah, Dante and Jason's conversation was very interesting because they were talking about Sonny and, how Dante was hell bent on taking him down when he first came and, basically rehashing the history and stuff. And, talking about how Dante grew to, admire Sonny over the years and stuff. I mean, it's always gonna be a tricky situation because Lucky had that same type of relationship with Luke. He loved Luke, but it was always gonna be a big conflict between them because Luke, of course, hated the fact that Lucky was a cop, and Lucky hated the fact that his father was a criminal. So it always kind of put them at odds with each other because it's like Luke would always get into some stuff, and Lucky being a cop, it's like he can't look the other way. You're his dad, but still, it's very like crazy to put your kid in that position. Um, but then of course Dante was talking about how Sonny shot him and stuff and yada yada yada. That was interesting between him and Jason though, because Dante was saying how he always admired how Carly and Jason always had Sonny's back. Yeah, I mean, yes, I could see why somebody would admire that because loyalty like that is very hard to find. It is. But how do I put it? I like it, but I don't. If you get my drift, it's like some lapdog type stuff because like Sonny will always put himself in these crazy ass situations because how Jason always tried to advise Sonny not to do this, not to do that, be level headed, and Sonny sometimes would not listen and he would just do what the hell Sonny wanted to do, and it would just cause drama to the where Carly and Jason had to just sacrifice things to protect him and keep him out of prison. Like I could see how one would admire the loyalty, but damn, it was like that could be frustrating dealing with somebody like Sonny. Even Diane couldn't stand working for Sonny sometimes because he don't ever listen, and he didn't. He didn't. But Dante and Jason ended up shaking hands and whatnot, and he was like, good luck on your wedding day and whatever. That was interesting though that he shook hands with Jason of all people. That was shocking. Hopefully Dante though can still separate whatever him and Jason are cool, whatever. I don't think they're friends, but if y'all can separate y'all being cool with you being a cop, just in case you gotta lock them up, cool. As long as y'all can separate the two. So anyway, moving on from that, it was funny because Sam joined up with Dante or whatever, and she kept wanting to work on this whole, Drew case or whatever. And Dante was kind of figuring that she was trying to keep herself busy as a distraction from what today was, which was Jason and Carly's wedding day. I agree with that because I definitely think that's what Sam was trying to do. I do believe that that's not the sole reason, but it's part of it. She wants to keep a distraction. I can't blame her for that. I definitely can't blame her for that. But I love how these cases are, connected right now. The whole Hayden, the Naomi Dreyfus murder, Drew, it's all connecting. It's all connecting right now. Sam was probably a little upset because, Curtis couldn't take her with him because he found a lead on a guy who used to work at Lethe Unlimited and Crichton Clark. But the guy was hesitant or whatever about, revealing patient, information and stuff already. So bringing Sam wouldn't have, did him no good because he didn't want to spook the guy. But it was kind of smart to bring Portia because she is a doctor. And even though it was a plot point to put the two of them together because of their little relationship and whatnot to get them closer, so it was a both smart and a plot point. Um, because this guy probably gonna be telling Curtis all type of mumbo jumbo, about the medical mumbo, medical language, doctor language. So it was smart bringing Portia because Portia couldn't decipher all of that stuff for Curtis. Like when he used big medical words and terms and all that, she could pretty much tell him what they mean. Like, not to make Curtis sound dumb, but if you tell me some medical jargon or whatever, I'm not gonna know what the hell you're saying. Your fibula, your tibula, your this, your that. I probably wouldn't know what the heck you were talking about. So it's good that he brought her. Which coincides with Naomi's murder because Jordan and Sean are working on that. And it also led them to the same person that Curtis went to go talk to. And outside the house looked just like the old Spencer house because they love using that set. I was like, please tell me that's not the old Spencer set because they love using it whenever it's convenient for them. Um, it was cool seeing Jordan and Sean working together. TJ's under the impression that Jordan is doing this for Sean on his behalf, like for TJ's sake. Yes and no. I feel like she's doing it for TJ, but I also feel like she's doing it as some type of apology and payback for Sean. You know what I'm saying? Like because she probably feel like she owe him. Because think about it, she went years without telling him that TJ was his son. So she probably feel like, oh, this is the least I can do, for me lying to you and putting y'all through what I put you through. You know what I mean? So it's the least she could do. But she did set boundaries, of course. Because when she had to go meet with this guy or whatever, the same guy that Curtis and them were meeting with, she couldn't bring Sean with her, of course. It's cool that she's letting him help out with the paperwork, like looking through files and all that stuff. That's fine. Um, Even though she's breaking rules that she normally don't like to break, which is bringing a civilian onto a case. Usually she frowns upon that. But I can understand, like I said, why she's doing it. But she would not let him come in the field with her because he's not a cop, he's not a PI, and it might look like a cover up if she brings him because he was there when him and Sam found Hayden. I keep saying Hayden, Naomi dead. But they're finding clues though because the person who was on the plane with she bought a ticket. Apparently Naomi bought a ticket or whatever when she was coming back, when she was flying or whatever, and she bought a ticket for her and the other passenger. And that other passenger is apparently the person that she's going to meet up with from Crichton Clark / Lethe. So that's what connects this to the Drew situation. And I had a feeling it was all connected. And I like it because now everybody's working together. And at this point, now that Curtis and them are figuring out that it's connected, once they get back home, with Sam and stuff, they can all work together and put their heads together. Because remember, Sam was sitting there talking to Valentine and Anna about this too. So you never know. Like, all of them putting their heads together. I love a good umbrella storyline. I love it. I think it's fun. So anyway, moving on from that. The Tano. Lord have mercy. So Lenny apparently before he died, he was gonna remodel the Tano, renovate it or whatever, because it had a leaky ceiling or whatever. So he ordered the supplies, but the supplies didn't get delivered until after he died. So Sonny figures, maybe that's Lenny's last wish, so let me fulfill it. Him and Nina started talking about their little relationship, and Nina said, "Oh, I love you too," and I said, "Ugh, ugh, ugh." Like that's just ill. Nina, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You gonna just playing with this man like that. This man got amnesia. You know who he really is. You know who his family really is, and you gonna play with him like that? Talking about I love you. I love you. I'm in love with you. Really? And she know that this could all fall apart at any moment. She know that, and she's still willing to risk it all. Damn, if risking it all was a person, that she would be it. Like you just willing to risk everything, a beat down, everything, and boom, her and Sonny decided to go. Well, Sonny decided to take her to Philadelphia for a night out on the town, And when she go outside or whatever, who she run into? Jax. I said, there you go. Jax done made it to Nixon Falls. With some questions. And you know she gonna be shocked when she see him. She looked shocked. It's just a hot mess. Nina really just, she need to let this go. This little fantasy life that she got, she need to let it go. Something tells me though, when Sonny get his memories back, he's going to probably have conflicting feelings because he did grow real feelings for Nina. So I think it's gonna be a little bit of both, like some anger and some residual feelings there. And where the hell did Carly run off to? That's what I want to know. Where'd she sneak off to? So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you all thought about it, and I'll see you all later. Peace.